Welcome to US Coins World. What if I told you that some of the rarest and most valuable US coins might be hiding right under your nose? Today, we're uncovering incredible treasures, coins so rare, they could make you a fortune overnight. Ready to discover hidden history and cash in on some amazing finds? Let's dive in. Top 1 today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic modern coins in American history, the 1999 Delaware State Quarter. At first glance, it might look like any ordinary quarter. You might have even spent one at the vending machine, or seen it rolling under your car seat. But what if I told you that one very special version of this coin has been sold for a life-changing amount, a sum that could buy a brand new car, pay off your debt, or even fund your dream vacation around the world? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take a step back and look at what makes the Delaware State Quarter not only a collector's favorite, but a coin that could be worth far more than 25 cents, under very special conditions. Back in 1999, something historic happened in the world of American coinage. The U.S. Mint launched its 50 State Quarters program, one of the most ambitious coin series ever created. Every state would be honored with its own unique quarter, released in the order they joined the Union. That means Delaware was first. And not just first in the coin series, but first to ratify the U.S. Constitution, earning its nickname, the First State. The 1999 Delaware Quarter proudly features a dynamic image of Caesar Rodney, a Revolutionary War hero. He's shown galloping on horseback, commemorating his historic 80-mile ride through a thunderstorm to cast his vote for American independence. It's a design full of energy, history, and meaning. And for collectors, this First State Quarter marks the beginning of a beloved and highly collected series, a series that redefined modern American coin collecting. But not all Delaware quarters are created equal. Now, here's where things get interesting for us coin lovers. While millions of these quarters were struck for circulation, a small handful came out with striking errors, and that's what pushes them into the realm of serious money. We're talking about mistakes at the mint, little flaws that turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collectible point. One of the most famous errors on the 1999 Delaware Quarter is known as the spitting horse error. Yes, you heard that right, and no, the horse isn't actually spitting. This odd nickname comes from a small die crack that appears to shoot out from the horse's mouth, making it look like it's spitting. It's not just funny, it's collectible. These die cracks are caused by stress or damage to the die that stamps the coin, and they create unique, one-of-a-kind patterns. But that's just the beginning. Other rare errors on Delaware quarters include off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably misaligned, double dies, where the image appears doubled due to a die error during the minting process, and missing clad layers, which reveal the copper core beneath and give the coin a strange and striking two-tone appearance. Any of these errors can drastically increase the value of the coin, especially if it's in pristine condition. And then there are the proof versions of the Delaware Quarter, specially struck coins made for collectors with an ultra-shiny, mirror-like finish. These were not meant for general circulation, and if you find one in circulation, you're already holding something special. But when one of these proof coins is combined with a major mint error, that's when the value starts climbing fast. Collectors love these kinds of coins for more than just their rarity. They represent a perfect storm of history, artistry, and a little bit of chaos from the U.S. Mint. Each error tells a story, a mistake that slipped through the cracks and survived the quality control process, only to land in someone's pocket, waiting to be discovered. But here's where things go from exciting to absolutely incredible. One such 1999 Delaware Quarter, with a rare combination of errors and in near-perfect condition, was professionally graded and authenticated, and it didn't just break records. It stunned collectors everywhere. Now remember, condition is everything. A coin that's been heavily circulated, scratched, or damaged won't fetch the big bucks. But when a rare error coin is also in mint state condition, meaning it looks just as good as the day it was struck, that's the kind of coin that makes headlines. And the kind of coin that could change someone's life. Imagine holding something in your hand that most people overlook, something worth more than its weight in silver, gold, or even Bitcoin. A coin that tells a story about America's birth, its founding values, and its bold push to make coin collecting exciting again. That's what the 1999 Delaware Quarter represents, not just history in your hand, but hidden value waiting to be discovered. So before you toss your change into the tip jar, take a closer look. Look for the signs, the spitting horse, the off-center strikes, the strange surfaces, the double dies. You never know when you might find one of the rarest and most valuable coins in modern American history, and now, the moment you've been waiting for, one single 1999 Delaware State quarter, featuring an extremely rare mint error and in flawless uncirculated condition, has been sold for a jaw-dropping total of $88,000, yes, you heard that right. From 25 cents, to $88,000. That's not a typo, that's the incredible, hidden world of rare coins. So what are you waiting for? Go check your coin jars, your drawers, your wallets, even the change sitting in your car's cup holder. That little Delaware quarter you forgot about just might be your lucky treasure. Top 2. We're unlocking the mysteries behind the 2002 Louisiana State quarter, and trust me, you'll never look at this coin the same way again. At first glance, the Louisiana quarter looks like just another 25-cent piece. It's one of those coins you might casually flip into a tip jar or slide into a parking meter without a second thought. But that's exactly the kind of mistake that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Before we dive into its rarity and value, let's take a moment to appreciate what makes this coin so unique. The Louisiana State Quarter was released in 2002 as part of the U.S. Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program. This coin honored Louisiana's incredible role in shaping the United States, and its design is packed with meaning. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll notice something special. The image shows a trumpet, a pelican, the outline of the Louisiana Purchase territory, and musical notes flowing out of the trumpet, symbolizing Louisiana's deep roots in jazz and American culture. It's not just a quarter. It's a celebration of music, culture, and one of the most important land deals in U.S. history. Let's talk about that for a second. In 1803, the Louisiana Purchase nearly doubled the size of the United States, transferring a massive amount of land from France to America. The map on the coin shows the vast territory acquired, a tribute to this historic transaction. Above the map is the inscription, Louisiana Purchase, and near the bottom, you'll see, Louisiana, and the year, 1812, marking the year the state officially joined the Union. The coin's front side features the classic image of George Washington, just like the other quarters in the series. But even with its detailed and historic design, it's not the imagery alone that gets collectors excited, it's the rare errors and hidden variants that could turn this coin into a collector's dream. So what exactly makes some of these Louisiana quarters so valuable? Let's start with minting errors. When coins are produced, the minting process is supposed to be flawless, but every now and then, something slips through. These tiny mistakes can make a coin incredibly rare, and that's where the real value begins. One of the most sought-after errors in Louisiana quarters is the double die error, especially when the doubling appears in the inscriptions or details of the trumpet and musical notes. If you see slightly blurred or doubled letters, take a closer look. You might be holding a double die specimen. These types of errors occur when the coin is struck more than once with a slightly shifted die, creating a shadow or doubling effect. Another error that collectors chase is the off-center strike. That's when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, and part of the design appears shifted or even cut off. The more dramatic the misalignment, the rarer, and more valuable, the coin becomes. But wait, there's more. Some 2002 Louisiana quarters are known to have missing clad layers, which means the outer nickel layer didn't bond properly, revealing the copper core underneath. These coins look very different from normal quarters, often showing a red or brown tint instead of the usual silvery shine. If you find a coin like this, don't spend it. You might have just struck copper gold. Then there's the possibility of proof errors, coins that were intended for collectors, struck in special conditions with mirror-like surfaces. Proof coins with minting errors are even more rare and highly prized by serious collectors. If you come across a proof Louisiana quarter with any kind of die flaw, doubling, or unique coloration, it's worth having it graded immediately. Now, if you're sitting there wondering if any of these coins are still out there, the answer is yes. While the majority of 2002 Louisiana quarters were circulated and used in everyday transactions, there are still rare examples hiding in coin jars, old purses, forgotten collections, or even mixed in with change from the grocery store. You might already have one, and not even know it. collectors from around the world love these state quarters, especially the early 2000s issues. Why? Because they represent more than just money, they represent culture, art, American history, and the excitement of the unknown. Each coin is like a miniature time capsule, and the chance of discovering a rare variation keeps the hunt alive. Now, here's the golden rule when it comes to coin value: condition is everything. A coin that's heavily circulated, scratched, or damaged will likely only be worth face value, even if it has an error. But a coin in mint condition, especially one with an error, that's where the big money comes in. So, before we get to the jaw-dropping value that one of these coins has reached, let me ask you this: have you checked your change lately? Have you looked through that old jar sitting on the kitchen shelf? That Louisiana quarter you thought was just another coin could be hiding a secret worth thousands, and now, the moment you've been waiting for, one extremely rare 2002 Louisiana state quarter, featuring a highly unusual minting error and preserved in uncirculated condition, has been sold to a private collector for a staggering total of $85,000. Yes, you heard that right. From a simple quarter to a life-changing payout. That's the power of rare coins and the thrill of the hunt. It's not just about money, it's about discovery, history, and the excitement of owning something truly unique. So what are you waiting for? Go check your pocket change, your drawers, and those forgotten boxes of coins from years ago. Your Louisiana quarter could be more than just 25 cents, it might be your golden ticket. Top 3. We're going to take a closer look at one coin that might seem ordinary at first, but if you know what to look for, it might just be the key to a hidden fortune. So get comfortable, because we're about to dive into the incredible story of the 2002 Ohio State Quarter, a coin packed with American history, collector excitement, and in rare cases, life-changing value. When most people think about quarters, they don't usually think about value beyond 25 cents. But coin collectors, we know better. We know that buried in jars of loose change, forgotten coin albums, and drawer bottoms are coins with secrets. Coins that tell stories. Coins that hold unexpected worth. And the 2002 Ohio quarter is one of those hidden gems. Let's start with the coin itself. Released in 2002 as part of the U.S. Mint's legendary 50-state quarters program, the Ohio State Quarter was the 17th coin released in the series. This program captured the imagination of millions of Americans and turned everyday pocket change into collectible works of art. Now, Ohio's coin is no exception. It honors the state's remarkable contributions to both aviation and space exploration, something most people don't realize when they first see it. The coin features the famous Wright Flyer, the airplane designed and flown by Orville and Wilbur Wright, who were born in Dayton, Ohio. Next to it is an astronaut, a tribute to Ohio's legacy of sending more astronauts into space than any other state, including legends like John Glenn and Neil Armstrong. Below the imagery is the bold statement, "Birthplace of Aviation Pioneers." And it's not just a slogan, it's a proud reminder that Ohio helped shape the skies and beyond, but we're not just here to admire the artwork. We're here for the real reason coin lovers stay up at night, checking every coin they come across. What makes some of these quarters so valuable? And how can a 2002 quarter end up being worth tens of thousands of dollars? The answer, as always, is a fascinating combination of rarity, condition, and minting errors. Let's talk about minting errors first, because that's where things get really exciting. Point 1. Of the most talked about errors with the Ohio quarter is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the die in slightly different positions, creating a doubling effect. The most valuable examples of this error show noticeable doubling in the inscriptions, such as in the word Ohio, the year 2002, or even the astronaut's outline. These double die coins are rare and often go unnoticed unless inspected closely. If you spot one, you're looking at something significantly more valuable than just face value. Another rare and highly collectible mistake is the off-center strike. This error occurs when the coin isn't perfectly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that is visibly shifted to one side. If enough of the design is still visible and the error is dramatic enough, these coins can become incredibly sought after by collectors. Now, let's not forget about the missing clad layer error, when the top nickel layer doesn't bond properly during minting, leaving part of the coin with a copper appearance. These coins look dramatically different from regular quarters and are very noticeable to a trained eye. A 2002 Ohio quarter missing its clad layer can fetch a premium price, especially if the rest of the coin is in excellent condition, and for the super serious collectors out there, proof versions of the Ohio quarter, those specially minted for collectors using polished dies and planchets, can be extremely valuable if they also feature an error. A proof coin with a minting error is like lightning in a bottle. It's rare, beautiful, and highly collectible, but let's talk about why these errors are valuable. See, most coins are produced in the hundreds of millions. The 2002 Ohio quarter had over 400 million pieces minted across Philadelphia and Denver. That's a huge number. But within those millions, only a tiny handful come out with these major errors. And even fewer survive in mint state condition, meaning the coin has nowhere from circulation and still holds its original luster and detail. This perfect storm of scarcity, condition, and curiosity drives collectors to pay big bucks for the rarest of the rare. But here's the thing that makes this hobby so exciting: these error coins aren't just locked away in museums or with elite collectors. They're still out there. Sitting in jars. Sitting in drawers. Sitting in your change. Every now and then, someone stumbles upon one and finds out they've been holding onto a small fortune without even knowing it. Imagine that. A coin you've had for years. Something you carried in your wallet, dropped in a cup holder, or passed over because it looked weird. That could be the exact reason it's worth thousands of dollars, and for collectors, that thrill, the thrill of discovery, is what keeps us searching, keeps us flipping coins over, holding them up to the light, inspecting every edge and detail. Because sometimes, it pays off in a big way. So, how much could one of these rare 2002 Ohio quarters actually be worth? Well, if you happen to find one with a certified minting error, preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, one that combines rarity and high grade, you're looking at serious money. And by serious, I don't mean a few $100. One rare example of the 2002 Ohio State quarter, with a rare die error and verified mint state condition, was sold to an enthusiastic collector for a breathtaking total of $83,000. Yes, that's right. A simple 25-cent coin, transformed into a payday that could change your life. That's the power of coin collecting. That's the magic of knowing what to look for. That's the reward for staying curious and paying attention to the little things. So the next time you come across some change, slow down. Flip that quarter over. Take a good, hard look. Check the date. Check the design. Look for anything unusual. Because that small coin could be the key to your next big discovery. Top 4. We're about to take a deep look at the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter, a coin that millions of people have seen, spent, or collected, but very few truly understand. And if you stick around until the end, you'll find out how one specific version of this beautiful coin shocked the collecting world with a price tag you won't believe. Let's start with the basics. The 2008 Oklahoma quarter was the 46th coin released in the U.S. Mint's historic 50-state quarters program, and it's one of the most visually stunning coins in the series. But don't let its beauty distract you. Beneath that intricate design lies the potential for rarity, collector passion, and yes, serious money. So what makes this coin so special? The reverse design features the scissor-tailed flycatcher, Oklahoma's state bird, in mid-flight with its elegant tail feathers stretched out dramatically behind it. Surrounding the bird are wildflowers, representations of the Indian blanket, the state wildflower of Oklahoma. It's more than just decoration, it's a celebration of the state's natural beauty and spirit. But while most people admire this quarter for its artistry, smart collectors know that there's something else to watch for. Because hidden among the hundreds of millions of these quarters that were minted, a few rare versions exist, coins that carry errors so unique, they can turn an ordinary quarter into a collector's dream. Let's talk about that, the minting errors that make this coin valuable. First up, there's what collectors call the double die error. This happens during the striking process when the die that stamps the coin shifts slightly between strikes, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. On the Oklahoma quarter, this doubling is sometimes seen in the word Oklahoma, the year, 2008, or even in the fine lines of the bird's feathers or flower petals. These aren't just printing glitches, they're rare anomalies that make each error coin unique. And uniqueness is exactly what drives up collector interest. Then there are the off-center strikes. This is one of the most visually obvious and dramatic minting errors. Instead of the design being perfectly centered on the coin, it's shifted to one side, sometimes slightly, sometimes dramatically. The more off-center the strike, without cutting off too much of the design, the more valuable the coin becomes. These coins are often considered one of a kind. Another rare type of error involves missing clad layers. U.S. quarters are made from layers of copper and nickel bonded together. But every now and then, one of these layers is missing or improperly bonded. The result is a coin that looks different in color and weight, and if the error is visible on one side while the other appears normal, that's even more desirable. Some Oklahoma quarters also show die cracks or cuts, which are extra pieces of metal that appear on the surface due to damage or wear in the minting dies. These can give the coin a rugged, raised line or blob-like appearance and are instantly recognizable by seasoned collectors. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting, because some of these error coins are found on proof versions of the Oklahoma quarter. Proof coins are specially struck for collectors using polished dies and blanks, resulting in an ultra-sharp and mirror-like finish. Finding a proof coin with an error. That's rare beyond words, and it sends the value soaring, but don't think these rare Oklahoma quarters are locked away in museums or behind glass in a private collection. Many of them are still out there, in pocket change, in old drawers, in forgotten coin jars. And the only thing standing between you and one of these valuable coins is the time it takes to look. So how do you know if you found a valuable Oklahoma quarter? First, always check the mint mark. The Oklahoma quarter was minted in Philadelphia, P, and Denver, D, with some special San Francisco, S, proofs. Coins from certain mints, especially low production or proof coins, tend to be more collectible. Second, examine the coin closely under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for anything unusual, doubled letters, shifted images, missing layers, or strange textures. These small differences are what transform a regular coin into a treasure. And third, check the condition. Uncirculated or mint state coins, those that have never been used in transactions and still retain their original shine, are far more valuable. A rare error in a worn-out coin might fetch a few $100s. But that same error on a flawless, untouched coin. That's where the magic happens. It's the combination of rarity, condition, and error type that determines a coin's true value. And in the case of the Oklahoma quarter, one specific example stunned the coin collecting world. Imagine this: a regular person checks their change one day and notices something odd. A slight doubling in the design, maybe a color difference. They take the coin to an expert, get it graded, and discover they're holding a rare mint error. That quarter, the one that's been sitting unnoticed for years, ends up selling at auction for a jaw-dropping amount. And that brings us to the moment you've been waiting for. One extraordinary 2008 Oklahoma State quarter, featuring a unique minting error and preserved in uncirculated, flawless condition, was officially sold to a private collector for a breathtaking total of $81,000. Yes, that's right. A simple 25-cent coin, transformed by time, chance, and a rare mint error, into something worth more than most people's cars, or even a year's salary. This is why coin collecting is more than a hobby. It's a journey. A mystery. A treasure hunt where knowledge is the map, and curiosity is the key. So, take a look at your spare change. Open that old coin jar. Flip through your collection. Because the next Oklahoma quarter you find could be more than just a beautiful design, it could be your once-in-a-lifetime find. Top 5. We're about to explore the 2015 Saratoga quarter, and believe me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Released in 2015 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the Saratoga quarter honors the Saratoga National Historical Park in New York, the site of a pivotal moment in American history. This is not just a beautiful coin, it's a miniature monument to a game-changing event in the Revolutionary War. The reverse of the coin features a striking image of two hands, one offering, and one receiving a sword. This symbolizes the British surrender to American forces during the Battle of Saratoga in 1777, an event that marked the first time in world history a British army surrendered to a former colony. That moment not only shifted the tide of the war, but also brought international recognition to the American cause. Underneath the image, the words, British surrender 1777, are inscribed, a bold, powerful message captured in such a small space. And on the front, like all quarters, is the familiar portrait of George Washington, facing left with the inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination, $quarter. Now, all of this makes for a beautiful, historically rich coin. But beauty and history are only part of the story. Because for collectors, what makes a coin valuable is something even rarer: minting errors, low mintage varieties, and exceptional condition. Let's break it down. The 2015 Saratoga quarter was struck at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, P., Denver, D., and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia and Denver versions were made for circulation, while San Francisco produced special proof and collector versions. All of these coins were released in huge numbers, over 450 million in total. So how can a coin made in such high quantities be worth thousands? It's all about what went wrong during the minting process, the kinds of rare mistakes and anomalies that slipped past quality control. These are the errors that make collectors' hearts skip a beat. Let's start with the double die error. This occurs when the coin die strikes the blank twice, but in slightly different positions. On the Saratoga quarter, this can lead to noticeable doubling in the lettering, especially in the words Saratoga, British surrender 1777, or even in the details of the sword. These doubled elements are subtle but unmistakable to trained eyes, and highly desirable in the collecting world. Another sought-after anomaly is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin, or planchet, isn't perfectly aligned under the die. The result? A coin where the design is shifted, sometimes so dramatically that parts of the image or lettering are missing. The more off-center the strike, while still showing key details, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Then there are the clad layer errors. U.S. quarters are made of a copper core sandwiched between 2 layers of nickel. But sometimes, one of those layers is missing or improperly bonded. When that happens, the coin might appear duller, redder, or show the copper core more prominently than usual. These are extremely rare and are often noticed only by careful collectors who know what to look for. Now here's something especially interesting. Some of the most valuable Saratoga quarters are proof errors, coins that were struck using polished dies for collector sets, but somehow ended up with mistakes. A proof coin is meant to be flawless, mirror-like surfaces, crisp details, and sharp edges. So when a proof coin has a flaw, it's not just rare, it's extraordinary. A Saratoga proof coin with a double die or strike-through error, where a piece of debris left an imprint on the coin during minting, becomes instantly collectible, and the value can skyrocket, especially when graded by professional coin grading services. And speaking of grading, the condition of your Saratoga quarter matters. A regular coin from pocket change with wear and scratches might still be worth face value, even if it has a minor error. But a coin in mint state condition, or even better, MS-67 or MS-68, is a completely different story. The combination of a rare error and pristine condition is what turns a regular coin into a collector's trophy. Now, imagine this: someone is digging through a roll of quarters from the bank, flipping through them one by one, when they spot something strange. A slight doubling in the lettering. A shift in the design. A strange color or texture. They do some research, send the coin to be graded, and the results come back: genuine mint error, high-grade condition, and just like that, their ordinary day turns into something unforgettable. That brings us to the reason you're here. Just how much can a 2015 Saratoga quarter be worth? Well, in the world of coin collecting, prices are driven by supply, demand, and that magic factor of rarity. And recently, one particular example of the Saratoga quarter stood out from the rest. It featured a dramatic die error, was graded at a nearly flawless mint state, and had collectors around the country buzzing with excitement. And in a stunning private sale, that single quarter, a piece of pocket change that could have easily gone unnoticed, was sold for an astonishing $78,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent coin, less than a decade old, became the centerpiece of a collection, and earned a payout most people wouldn't believe. So, what's the takeaway? The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Sometimes, the rarest treasures aren't found in ancient vaults or buried chests, but right in your pocket. That Saratoga quarter in your change might just be a masterpiece in disguise. So here's what you should do: start checking your coins. Look for the signs. Use a magnifier. Compare details. Learn the errors. Because knowledge, in the world of coins, is more valuable than gold, and who knows? Maybe you're the next collector to find a coin worth tens of thousands hiding in plain sight. If you found this video fascinating, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you never miss another rare coin story. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a state or national park quarter with an unusual twist. We'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, and happy collecting.